Hi there, I'm Suranga from Englishman. Today it is total immersion. Today we are going to do a different thing because we are going to talk about sort of animals. You know what the animals are. You can see what I'm drawing now. Yeah. So that is a frog. What I'm going to draw. You can see that. Yeah. So the thing is actually a frog is thinking about something. Shall we see what's happening? This is really a frog. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. This is a beautiful frog, as you can see. A patchy frog. Yeah. Frogs are always beautiful, as you know. Frogs are always beautiful, but frogs are bit patchy. Yeah. This frog is thinking about something. We have no idea what this frog is thinking about. Yeah. I want to know whether you like this frog or not. Yeah. Yeah. This is a frog, yes. So, now we start the story. A group of frogs were hopping contentedly through the woods, going about their business, when two of them fell into a deep well. What does it say? Yeah, this is the land. And now the frogs are jumping. Yeah, frogs are jumping here and there. They're going somewhere. Yeah, lot of frogs, good number of frogs. Yeah, they're jumping. Where are they going? We have no idea. Yeah, frogs are jumping. Good number of frogs. Not one, not two. Good number of frogs jumping here and there. Yeah. But unfortunately, as they mentioned, two frogs dropped into a deep pit. Yeah. Now, two frogs were in a deep pit. A group of frogs were hopping contentedly, a new word, contentedly, through the woods. Why through the woods? Wood is basically, you know what wood is? A sort of a forest you can see, smaller forest, woods. You can see the trees. Yeah. So, a group of frogs were hopping contentedly through the woods, going about their business. That it should be a froggy business. When two of them fell into a deep well, deep means really deep because maybe good number of meters, we say 3 meters. Ah, that is the thing. What is contently? Contently, I have highlighted some words in bold letters. In these words, I'm going to explain. Some words are basically different in color. This is yellow, this is green color, and I'm using sort of a pinky color for the real things that I have to explain. Contently, content. What is content? Satisfaction. Be content with what you have. Somebody would say, be content with what you have. Be content. Be satisfied. Suranga, Majang, do you have a car? Yeah, I have a car. You have family, children, kids, wife? Yeah, I have. You have a house? Yeah, beautiful. Yes. And you have a sort of income? Yeah. Salary? Yeah. Then you have everything you want. Do you think that you have everything you want? Yeah, I think I have. I do feel that I have everything I need. Then why are you doing these things? I mean, different classes and sort of things to earn money. Be content with what you have, Machang. Be content with, be satisfied with. That is content. So then a group of frogs were Hopping contently. What is hopping? Hopping is also a very important thing. Hop. Hop means sort of a jumping. But hopping is you have to exert a great force. Exerting a force. Spring from. Spring from means using a force. Yeah, that is it. A group of frogs were, this is really a very important story. You learn a very beautiful lesson to your life with this. A group of frogs were hopping contently, that is satisfied frogs, happy frogs, and through the woods going about their business, that is froggy business, when two of them fell into a deep pit. Yeah. Yes, shall we see what happens now? All of the other frogs gathered. Now where are the frogs now? The two frogs. Two frogs can be seen. Yeah, two frogs can be seen at the bottom of the well. Yeah, two frogs here. Two frogs at the bottom of the well. Where are the other frogs? They gather round. I use a different color for these frogs. Yeah, the other frogs, they want to see what has happened to their friends. Yeah, all the frogs gather round the well. Machang, what happened to you? Yeah, they would ask them, Machang, what happened to you? All the frogs. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And another frog, the Lokka frog is there. Yeah, different frogs. Oh. All the other frogs gathered means coming together, gathered around the pit. This is the pit. This is, this is 3 meters, a deep one, yeah, deep one, sorry, deep one, very deep. You can see the frogs at the bottom. So, all the other frogs gathered, coming together around the pit. You can see, to see what could be done to help. They are trying to help the friends. When they saw how deep the pit was, then they saw that pit was really deep, 3 meters. Now they saw that it is 3 meters, very difficult. They realized that it is very difficult for these frogs to come out. So, see what could be done to help. When they saw how deep the pit was, they agreed. I mean, they came to a conclusion, that a sort of a common idea. I mean, they came to the same conclusion. They came to the same idea. They agreed. Yeah, that is it. What you say is right. What you say is true. I believe in that. Yeah. That it was hopeless, and told the two frogs in the pit that they were as good as dead. So they agreed. They came to a conclusion. They realized that these guys cannot come out. They have to die. Then they say it was now deep. How deep the pit was. They agreed that it was hopeless, useless. Hopeless, no hope. Almighty God, yeah, I have hope. Yeah, I think I can win. Almighty God, I have hope. I think I can grow this YouTube channel, I would say. Something like that. Hope means I expect. I'm thinking about that. I have a wish, sort of great desire to do something. Yeah. That it was hopeless, no hope. I cannot do that, no hope. Hopeless. And told the two frogs in the well, Machang, frogs in the pit, that they were as good as dead. As good as dead. As good as something. As good as an adjective. You have to use adjective. Dead is adjective. As good as adjective. As good as finished. As good as something. As good as something means nearly. For example, My car is repainted. It is being painted. Now I'm going to the garage. And I would say, now it is nearly finished. Then I would say, it is as good as finished. It is as good as finished. It is B form, as good as finished. It is as good as finished. That means nearly finished. Almost finished. Just like. So now you are just like dead frogs, Machang. Machang, 2 frogs, my friends. Now you are just like dead frogs, nearly dead. So therefore, very grave, right? Because they cannot help. Machang can't help. You are nearly dead. That is as good as dead. Shall we see what's happening? Yeah. Unwilling to accept this terrible fate, the 2 frogs began to jump with all of their might. Shall we see what's happening? Now the frogs. Yeah, they are jumping. They're jumping, yeah. The frogs are jumping, yeah. What do they say? The frogs are jumping now. Yeah. They were really frightened. Unwilling to accept the terrible fate. Unwilling, they do not like. Unwilling to accept the terrible fate. Terrible means very bad, causing a lot of damage, causing harm. Yeah, unwilling to accept this terrible fate, terrible accident, we would say. It's really a terrible thing. It was a terrible car accident, terrible fate. They do not want to believe. They don't want to accept. They don't want to say that this is good. Yeah. They think they can come out. So they don't want to listen to that guys. They say that they are nearly dead. No, we are not nearly dead. Unwilling, we don't like to listen to you guys. Unwilling to accept this terrible fate, the 2 frogs began to fate. What is fate? We would say it's your fate. If you meet with an accident and if you die, Gami people would say, it is his fate. Can't say. It is his fate. Yeah. Fate is what will happen to you finally. Just like it has been written somewhere, this would happen to you. Then I would say, no, Machang, if he is not going to Nurelia, it would not happen to him. He would be safe. No, Machang. It is his destiny. It is his fate. Wherever he is, he die. It is his fate. You understand what I mean? Yeah. So unwilling to accept this terrible fate. Terrible fate means they have to die. They say that you have to die. You are dead. It is your fate. Yeah, this is your fate. This is what happens to you. Yeah. It is in your horoscope. You know, a horoscope? Yeah. 2 frogs began to, they didn't want to listen to them. They took, 2 frogs began to jump with all of their might. Might means the power. Might. Mighty. Almighty God. Almighty God means why? Almighty God. Almighty God He is the most powerful. Yeah. Almighty God. Omnipresent. Omniscious. Omnipotent. Yeah. Not omnivorous. Yeah. Frogs began to jump with all of their might. Zoom, yeah, Gembo. The other guy jumping in a different way. Yeah. They are jumping. They are jumping here and there. Why? Trying to going out of this deep pit. You know that it is deep pit. So, some of the frogs shouted into the pit. Some of the frogs, now the friends are there, they shouted into the pit that it was hopeless, useless, no hope. And that the two frogs would not be in that situation if they had been more responsible. Another frog says a very different story. What does it say? Some of the frogs shouted into the pit that it was hopeless and that the two frogs wouldn't be in that situation. They say that these two frogs, you would not be in this situation, Machang. This will not happen to you. Yeah. Why? If they had been more responsible, if you were more responsible, if you took more responsibility, this would not happen to you. Responsible means if something bad happens, we would say, you are responsible. It is your fault. Yeah. You are responsible means if you are not responsible, if something happens bad, it is because of you. For example, yeah. For example, we can say that you did not lock the door. At night, the thieves come and collect all your money and valuables. And then I would say to my wife, oh, you were not responsible. If you thought about it, this would not happen. It is your responsibility. You understand, right? That is what happens. And shall we see next? The other frogs kept telling them to give up. The other frogs means, now, for example, it is just like this. Now, this is the well. So, these are the two gembos, right, in the well. Can see, yeah, the other one. They can see other gembos talking. Yeah. The other gembas here, they are macam. They would talk to them, yeah. This is the thing. They can see other frogs. The other frogs kept telling them to give up. They say, Machang, give up. Don't do that. Don't jump. Yeah, because you cannot come. Give up. Friends, do not say so. But these friends are really good friends. That is one of the reasons why they say, Machang, give up. The other frogs kept telling them to give up. That they were good as they were as good as they. I talked about this. Finally, one of the frogs took heed to. Take heed to means listen to somebody's advice or whatever it is and take that serious and obey. Yes, I should do that. Take heed to mean is that. Take heed to means you are listening to, you are thinking about someone's ideas or whatever it is, then you think that it is true and you obey and you surrender and something like that. So then one frog took heed to what the other frogs were saying and gave up. He fell down and died. Because the thing is, now here, when you think about this deep well, now really what happens is the frogs jump. Now, for example, when this frog jumps and frog comes to this position, and so therefore he can be there for some period of time, maybe 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Then his aim is to jump onto this surface and so on. Then this frog is there. The other one is a blue frog. Blue frog is here. So blue frog is here. So what happens is the other frogs over there, these are the frogs, they advise them, Machang, give up. One frog, the blue frog, took heed to what the other frogs were saying. He realized, he thought that it is true, and then he gave up, he dropped and he died. Yeah. So what happened to the blue frog was basically dead. Yeah. Now you can see the blue frog was. Blue frog was dead. No, the blue frog was dead. But so the other frog continued to jump as hard as he could. He tried his level best, although his body was wrecked. The other frog, that is green frog, the other frog continued to jump as hard he could. He tried his level best, although his body was wrecked with pain. Wrecked with pain. Wrecked means something bad happens to you because the body is damaged, body is crushed or whatever it is. Wrecked with pain, having a very bad experience. Wrecked with pain, wrecked with disappointments. Yeah, wrecked with pain. And he was quite exhausted. Exhausted means really tired. But once again he became really, really tired. Yeah. So very difficult. Was quite exhausted, very tired. Once again, his companion began yelling. Yelling means screaming, "Hello!" Yeah, making a very big sound, yelling, "Hello!" Yelling for him to accept his fate. Yako, accept your fate. You are going to die. Don't try. Stop the pain and just die. Stop the pain. You are really causing pain to your body, trying and trying and trying and trying. Whatever you do, you die. So therefore, just be there and die. That is really a good thing in a way. The advice, piece of advice. Shall we see what happens next? The weary frog jumped harder and harder, and wonders of wonders. The weary frog, that is exhausted frog, the tired frog, it was really tired. Jumped harder and harder, jumped harder and harder. Wonders of wonders. Wonders of wonders. Matasiri. Yeah, wonderful. He understands the idea basically. Something like that. Something happens beautiful. We never expect that. We cannot believe that. Wonders of wonders. Finally, leaped so high that, jumped so high that, jumped so high that the Gemba finally, so high that he sprang from the pit. Sprang from the pit. Yeah. Now Gemba Goda. Vibhagi pass. There are other frogs over there. His friends are there. Macham. Yeah. So, the weary frog jumped harder and harder, and wonders of wonders finally leaped so high that he sprang from the pit. Sprang from the pit. Shall we see what happens next? Amazed, the other frogs celebrated his freedom, and then gathering round him asked, amazed, they could not believe their own eyes. Amazed, they were shocked, wonderful, amazed, amazed, and other frogs celebrated, amazed, being amazed, Other frogs celebrated his freedom, celebrated, celebrated. Celebrated means we celebrate celebrations, maybe say birthday parties or whatever it is, we celebrate. When we celebrate, we become really happy and we dance and we do different things. Celebrated his freedom. They celebrated a birthday party. No, they celebrated his freedom. Another meaning of celebrate is basically when we see something beautiful, something wonderful, we say that it is good. Machang, really good. We celebrate his achievement or his something. What he does. If you pass an examination, then we celebrate. Machang, we have to celebrate. Very good. celebrate his freedom. Whose freedom? That Gemba's freedom. So, and then gathering around him asked, the main Gemba is here. This is the Gemba who did the job. That his job means came out. The other Gembos, we take blue color. The other Gembos, his friends, Macham, Machang. Oh, Macham, Machang. Oh, Macham, Machang. Oh, Macham, Machang. One Gemba asked, why did you continue jumping? Why did you continue? Without stopping, you jumped up. You jumped up. Didn't you hear what we said? We said you cannot jump. Stop. You are going to die. Why are you coming up? No, you cannot do that. We said it. Didn't you hear that? Didn't you hear that? Why did you continue jumping when we told you it was impossible? Impossible means you cannot do that. Yaakov, we told you, you cannot do that. Stop jumping. Be there. But you jumped up always. Why is that? You fool, you didn't hear. But now he has come, but Gembo asked. Because Gembo was really telling him, asking him not to jump. But he jumped up. Then Gembo liked him coming out. But yet Gembo happened to ask that question. The other Gemba, he realized, he understood, he obeyed these big Gembos, the rest of the Gembos, and he stopped jumping. But this guy, he continued jumping. That is why he came out. But the Gembo has to ask that, Yaho, you did not listen to us, huh? Yeah. Now the thing comes. The astonished frog. The astonished frog. This frog was astonished, surprised. Eh? He did not understand that, because when their body language, the other Gembo's body language, he understood what they are talking about. I'll tell you. The astonished frog explained. The astonished frog. Oh, astonished. Surprised. Eh? Astonished frog, this guy. The astonished frog explained to them, he said, Macham, 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 that he was deaf. He cannot hear. He cannot hear. He is deaf. He is deaf. Deaf Gemba. Ear closed. Deaf Gemba. He cannot hear. The astonished frog explained. Astonished frog explained to them that he was deaf, and as he saw their gestures, gesture means what you are doing from hands, come here. Gestures. When you do lectures, you would use your hand gestures, to make people, spectators, your viewers, your audience realize what you're talking about. Yeah. So the whole thing comes with Stephen Krashen's comprehensible input. The comprehensible input is a thing so that you can learn, you have to listen, you have to read, and you can understand. That is what Stephen Krashen says. So, hand gestures, whatever it is. So, gestures mean your actions, maybe facial expressions or things like that, so that you understand. So, the deaf, and he saw their gestures, deaf, and as he saw their gestures, he saw, these Gembas saw that they are talking about something. But he cannot hear. He thought that they are cheering. Oh, Jai Veva, Jai Veva, Jai Veva, Jai Veva, Jai Veva. He thought that he was cheering, just shouting and encouraging. Oh, Machang, Jang, Mayayam. He thought they were cheering him on. Really, this big Gembo said, don't come, Machang. By doing, they tried their level best to stop them jumping out. But that Gemba heard that. That Gemba listened to this Gemba because he was not deaf. So he died. This Gemba thought, they are cheering me, they are helping me to coming out. Then the Gemba came out cheering. Yeah. Yeah, this is the lesson. Maybe if you are listening to everybody, you won't be able to do something. So in this life, if you are going to listen to everybody, you won't be able to do things. You cannot do great things. You should listen to them. But first you have to be brave enough, intelligent enough. You should learn and you can do that, what you want. So people would find that it is difficult when we do things. For example, when I started this channel, everybody, most of my friends, teachers of English said, Machang, teaching English through English that's okay, you can do that, but don't do it. Use singular. And nobody would come, nobody would watch your channel because they are used to listen to singular thinking it is English. So you won't be able to do that. I thought, no, I would do that. I'm going to do that and I'll do that. I had the idea. I was deaf. I was really deaf to my friends, teachers of English, mostly, good number of. They were not discouraging me. Do you think that they were discouraging him? No. This Gembo was supporting that guy. My friends asked me not to do that because they were supporting me. But I thought I would do that. So I was really deaf then. I turned deaf ear to them. Turned deaf ear means I did not listen to them. So therefore I happened to develop this one. Now I have more than 20,000 subscribers and there are a set of people that going this way. So that is it. So therefore, not discouraging you if you are doing something new. Now, if you are doing something that nobody has done, for example, I have done 216 English through English videos, stories. Nobody has done that in Sri Lanka, as far as I know, in YouTube videos. Clear, yeah, whatever, sort of. I tried to find things in internet for teaching English. Nobody has done, as far as I know, 200 story videos like this. Stories probably be not explaining things away like this, 200 videos. If you find, try to find, if you find, just let me know. Yeah. So that is really a big thing somehow. When I was doing that, people said, no, it's really difficult. Yeah, that is it. But so think about that. If you think that you can do that, irrespective of all other things, and if it is not harming other people, if the thing that you are going to do is helpful to other people, and it is not destructive, it is constructive. Maybe it is difficult to you, but when people say it is difficult, do that. Then you can win. Okay. Right.